Hey guys, Coach Bricks here. I hope you are fantastic. Hey, something that I'm starting to see more and more that is a major cause of injury, and we all know this, all right, but I don't think we're diving deep enough into it, is the same activity that we do causes a lot of our problems, all right, a lot of our pain, a lot of our discomfort, a lot of our injuries. All right, we all know that in the sports world, okay? We talk about it. Kids who play one sport all year round tend to have it. Now, I'm not 100% sold on this in this respect, that even if you play one sport, if you give yourself breaks in between and don't hammer it all the time, you're typically okay. Okay, that's what a lot of people aren't telling you. Oh, you got to play multiple sports. I agree with you, but what I really, really want to see is making sure that you're taking breaks. So if you're getting some strength training in and you're playing maybe 6 months, it's only one sport, but you're playing 6 months, 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months, or even 7 or 8 months, but you're taking time off in between, I'm okay with that. It's the ones that just continually play and they never stop. They very rarely take time off, like baseball, for example, right? You go from your spring season, which is typically your regular season, right? Then you go right into summer travel and then fall travel. And then you're hitting the ball, okay? And you're throwing the ball. And you do that all winter long, and then you come right back to it and you take no time off. Yes, you might not be playing games per se during that time, but you're constantly doing the same patterns over and over and over. And a lot of the other sports do the same thing. Basketball does it now for some reason. I have no idea why they decided to let's extend the season from when it ends in March. Let's go April, June, July, August, September now. Okay, and then we'll finally give them a break, but really we're not going to give them a break because now they're back at high school season doing their open gyms to get ready for the season all over again, the high school season or grade school or whatever you want to say. So it's like nothing ends. But this is also towards adults too. So adults get stuck into one exercise pattern that they love. They absolutely love. And it goes a lot with yoga people. Okay. And I'm not just pointing them out because I think it goes with some other ones. But yoga people love yoga. That's all they love to do. Look, I'm a yogi. I'm all this. Yeah, oh, I'm awesome. But I also see a lot of these people who have issues. Why? Because they're constantly breaking their bodies down in the same fashion, not doing things outside of that to make sure that they're taking care of it. See, the people who do multiple different things. So if I strength train and I sprint train and I do some plyometrics, okay, all three different things. The strength training, we all know the benefits. We all know the sprint training. If you don't know the sprint training, unfortunately, you're probably a jogger, okay? And there's really not a ton of benefits besides maybe some cardiovascular, but I could get that naturally and the way God intended it through sprinting. And then you have your plyos, which God also intended us to do, be able to jump, recoil, all that kind of stuff to take care of our bodies. But a lot of people get stuck in that one. And like I said, I know a lot of people who do yoga and that's all they do. There's nothing else. They do, I don't know, they call it all different kind of yoga, hot yoga, regular yoga, this kind of yoga, that kind of yoga, restored. I have no idea. They have 10,000 different yogas out there, but they do the same thing over and over again. Okay. Yes, the patterns might be a little bit different and the temperature might go up because I'm doing this kind, but it's all the same thing over and over and over again. And yet a lot of them forget to strength train. A lot of them forget to do other activities. Your body needs to change. Your body needs different things. We all know how insane we go if we just sat inside and did nothing. And hopefully we know from what happened 5, 6 years ago, what happened to a lot of people, right? They told you to stay inside and people went nuts. And then people started to adjust to it, unfortunately. And now that's where we're at because not many people come outside and their bodies are falling apart. But I don't want you to get to that point is you have to understand the human body needs to have different stimuli. Strength training is so important at all ages. Now, I'm not a guy that says you have to go to a gym. Okay. Climate control, that has to be this, this, this. Get outside, push ups, pick some rocks up, pick some logs up, do some pull ups in the trees, things of that nature. Sprinting. I think every single human being till the day they freaking die should be able to sprint. If you can't sprint, there's a major issue. And I'm not talking about just one sprint. I'm talking about multiple sprints with rest in between doing that. You should be able to, people should do that once to twice a week. That should be one of their trainings. It might only take 15 to 20 minutes, but they should be doing that. It's hugely important and it's a huge benefit. Plyometrics, you should be able to jump, learn how to land, learn how to recoil, bounding up, being I call bouncy. You want to be bouncy. Okay? You want to be bouncy, not just, hey, I'm an athlete and that's what I need. Human beings need that till the day they die as well. It's why most people you see walk and they're like this when they're walking as they get age because they forgot to take care of their bodies. Okay. It's not from all the injuries. I talked about that before. What happens when you have one injury, if you're not taking care of it, it'll eventually lead to more problems down the road if you're not fixing those problems. But we need to make sure that now, if you're going to do yoga, which is fine, you got to do other things with it. You just can't be stuck in one pattern because that's all you're doing. And that breaks the body apart. And you got to understand that's not what the body wants. So then people come to me and I'm like, all right, what are you doing? They're like, yoga. Okay, what else you do? Nothing. Okay, so your knees banged up, your ankles banged up, your back's banged up, your hip. All these things come into play because we're utilizing one thing. The human body then breaks down because you're constantly feeding it the same thing over and over and over, wearing it out. The body likes different things. Like I said, strength, speed, bouncy, which is plyos. If you did those things and you constantly kept them on a loop, you would probably be fine. I guarantee you, if you did it right, you trained it properly, okay, not just went out there and had no clue what the heck you're doing. If you trained it properly, got a right program, got all that stuff, you could probably live a darn good life with limited injuries because you'd be able to access those injuries right away. And you're not wearing out the same areas all the time. Okay. And that's why I'm always about get outside, do your training outside, barefoot as much as you can, go for long walks, sprint barefoot if you can, if not, minimalist shoes, get outside, pick some stones up, not just little tiny pebbles, but I'm talking about pick some bigger things up, logs, flip some tires, sledgehammers. If you don't have wood, use some sledgehammers to hit the tires, those types of things to see how the body reacts. Jump, get up on a tire, curb, or maybe stairs and jump off 2 stairs. Land, learn how to land properly. Hugely important to the human body because if I take a bad step, I want to be able to land properly. Okay. All these things are beneficial. Sprinting, put that in your routine. Huge. If you want to add yoga in, fine, great. Go for it. But don't just keep that as your one thing. Mix it up, change it up, get a nice routine going. I have about a 3-day routine, which I throw in there from my strength, which I do about 4 or 5 days a week, to sprinting, which is anywhere between 2 to 3 days a week. Sometimes, they cross over on the same days, and my bouncy stuff, my plyos, my explosive stuff, some of this stuff, even in the gym, where I get a stone throw it as far as I can. All right. And then jump, things of that nature. I mix it all up. But I have those 3 things in play at all times to do it. And then what I do is if there's a weakness somewhere, I'm like, okay, what do I got to work on? Okay, I'm going to hit the gym to focus on this. And then that's what I attack. All right. So don't get stuck in one way. Start to do it because what I said, you're causing problems later on. You might not feel right away, but you eventually start to cause problems because the body will start to compensate too much for your overuse of that. And then your body's going to start to hurt. Don't let that happen. Change it up, mix it up, do different things. You have to try them. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. Comments, questions, send this out to your friends. Have yourself a blessed day and God bless you.